Yes, it's April and it is snowing again. It's not even funny. What is happening here? Well, welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. Come on, baby. Good girl. You're going to be so big. Look at you. You're such a good baby. Stay down. Good morning, everyone. Today's the day. I've got to do my seedlings and it's raining. It's going to be raining, so I have to do it here in my house. I'm going to do it at the kitchen table. I'm going to show you the containers that I'm using. Let me flip my camera around. I told you that I had a bunch of containers that I had saved for me, and here they are in this bag, as you can see. But the cool thing is, when I was exploring the attic the other day, I noticed there was a bunch of these. So I'm going to use these first. I believe these were left behind, obviously, by the former owner, and I will use those, but I'm not going to get rid of these because I might need them eventually and I will save them. I got to wash them a little bit first. It's got some leftover soil and stuff, which is not necessarily a big deal, but you know, if any of these plants had any kind of fungus or anything in them, I don't want to pass it on to the new plants. So I'll just give them a good little wash out with a little bit of soap and water. All right, those are washed. And I have these over here, and it looks like this one already has holes in it, which is good because you need to have drainage. But this one does not. So I'm gonna have to probably poke some holes in here. Okay, so here are my containers. They are washed and ready to go. I poked holes in things that does not have holes, so that way there's drainage, because you want to make sure that your containers drain or the soil will get moldy, and you don't want moldy soil. And if you hear squeaking in the background, that is Beans. He's just playing with his little piggy. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna get the soil ready now. Your soil should be warm when you start your seedlings. This has been outside for a while, so I'm guessing it's probably about somewhere around 40 degrees, and I wanna bring it up to maybe like 50 degrees at least, 50 to 60, somewhere in there. And so I'm gonna add a little bit of warm water to the soil because you want your soil damp. You don't want it soggy, but you do want to start it out damp and warm. So that's what I am doing right now. The soil feels definitely a little chilly for sure. I'm holding it in my hands and I can feel that's a little cool, and we want to make sure that the seeds have a warm, moist bed to be able to germinate in, and it won't germinate. They won't start to grow in cold soil. And the reason we're starting it inside to begin with is because the soil outside. I just added warm water to the soil. And again, like I said, I don't want to make it soaking wet, like where you pick it up and you can wring it out, but it's nice and moist now. And this is good to get started, but it still feels a little cool. And I have my oven on just to kind of maybe warm things up a little bit before I put the seeds in. So I'm gonna kind of bring it up to a little bit to room temperature. I think I'm gonna use this flat here to start my tomatoes in. So I'm just gonna pour this soil in there. And you wanna kind of push it down, pack it in, so you get it ready to for the seeds. So I'm just gonna pack this down a little bit, because once you put the seeds in, we're gonna put another little layer of soil on top of it. So it doesn't need to be fully full to the whole top or anything. Just wanna make sure it's gonna pack down a little bit. This looks good. So these are the tomatoes that I'm gonna plant in here. And they require to be planted about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna poke holes. One here, one here, one here, and one here. And I'll do the same all the way through. I just dumped all the seeds right here on this little piece of paper. Look at these little bitty seeds. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it a miracle to think that these little bitty seeds is gonna grow a tomato plant with many, many, many tomatoes? It's just an absolute miracle. It's like, how can we even tell what's a seed and what's not, right? I put all the seeds in the holes. I made sure that there's more than one seed in each hole. I don't know if you can see here. Right there. Because you just never know what's going to take and what's not. There's a... And I will put it, I'll put the soil up at the top of it once I spread it on. They're covered, and now I'm going to just do a fine mist on the top. We don't want to soak them, just a nice little mist. That's probably good. And I will put a some plastic wrap over the top of it because we need to kind of have like a little dome over the top, something that will allow light in but keep the warmth in. And once they start to germinate and we see things start to pop up, then we'll pull the plastic off. This is my brandywine tomato seedlings, and I'm gonna have to get something to post in my container so that I know what's what, because the last thing I want to be doing is not knowing what I have. So that's something I need to pick up today when I go to the store. But I'm going to leave this right here on my stove to stay nice and warm as I continue to plant all my other seedlings, and I will show you a video of all of that when I'm done. Okay, so the seedlings are done. My cherry tomatoes, my green peppers, beefsteak tomatoes, brandywine tomatoes, my red and yellow peppers. So I've got, what do you got?
Looks like some plants, or
well, not plants
beginnings.
Yes. And we're bringing them upstairs. Thank you, Evelyn. Can you bring a couple more? Yeah. And we're going to be leaving them in the bathroom upstairs, which sounds weird, but it's a big room with lots of southern exposure and huge windows and lots of light, and it's fairly warm in here. Let me show you. Yep, that's where my seedlings are going to be. A lot of sunlight. This is about 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. And that's still got a pretty good amount of light, but I'm going to bring some lights in here to shine down on them at night. But this is where they're going to go.
Put them closer together.
Well, we can put them closer together, but I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way, because obviously over here is going to get the most sunlight, and over here we get the least amount. So I'm thinking, so you just want me to rotate them every day?
Or every other day or something. You know, push them this way as close as you can, and then...
Well, I'm going to bring another light in here, plug it in so that we have something here above the table shining down on the plants to keep light on here to help them grow. Anyway, since we're in here, I might as well show you a little bit of the lath. There's what do you call it? Accordion lath here still. And the original plaster on this wall. And of course, tons of old wallpaper just kind of falling off. But we're going to try to preserve the wall here. Obviously leave the lath, depending on what we're going to do, whether we replaster or not. We will keep the lath, whether we put like sheetrock over it or not. We'll keep the lath no matter what. So stay tuned. This will be a project probably, I'm thinking in the fall. Once our foundation situation is figured out, this is going to be one of our projects, this room here. It's very big, actually. Let me, as I'm backing out, you can get a better idea. All right, so Andrew just left. He's done. Is that any,
for now.
For now. Because it has been revealed that there's plenty more work to be done down here. And Lord, are we ever going to get this done?
It's like, in this room alone.
This is gorgeous, though. This is beautiful.
I have more work to do.
In this room?
Yeah, a lot of work. You know, digging drainage. I got to redo all this, that wall over there. But yeah, I want to show you the real problem. Just
Great.
watch out for
Ouch.
this, I-beam here.
Yeah, watch out for this I-beam.
So does this stuff stay here? So I have to eventually, not right away. I have to take this down to about here and then kind of rebuild it up to this level. And put those stones back here and then put supports underneath it. Right now it is what it is. Well, he said that I didn't want to take down that stuff and see what was behind there while I was looking at all that over there. He said you should feel good about getting that job done, but he said this is really in need of
Guys,
replacement.
we need help. Look at this. It makes me want to like cry just looking at this because we just got
You
2
wanna
walls
cry.
done. And here we are faced with another wall just as bad.
Worse.
Look at the cornerstone here. It's coming out. Wow.
All of this was disguised by the tarp. But, so the good thing is I've been watching Andrew work, and I feel pretty confident that when the time comes I can support this. He said even right now they have it supported by this lolly column, so you could take a lot of this stuff down, and then begin to rebuild. And I thought, you know, he said basically this whole wall needs to be rebuilt, the whole thing, because if you can see it kind of bellying a little bit. It's not as bad as the other one, but he said it's definitely. And my point was, it's, you know, I need to stick with one project at a time, because this stuff has been here for a long time, and it's not like it's gonna cave in tomorrow. You know, it definitely needs to be fixed, but I need to work on one project at a time.
And I feel like at this point we are 100% committed. We can't
We're
just throw in
committed.
the towel. We are committed, and
This is
it's important.
Yeah.
Here's a little update on my seedlings. This has been a few days since I planted, and as you can see, there's a lot of condensation on the plastic. That's a good thing. And the soil is still fairly moist. You want to make sure that we don't soak it. Basically, we want to keep the soil moist but not soggy. And we're going to leave the plastic on until we start seeing signs that the seedling is growing, and that's usually within a week or so. So once we see that, I can pull these off, and then we'll keep the seedlings moist, and then kind of let them dry a little bit, and then spritz them again. But we don't want them soggy because we don't want the roots to mold. We want them to grow and into beautiful, healthy plants. So I'll keep you updated.